Brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, I'm CubaLibre. Welcome back to Let's Play Tomb Raider Underworld. Pick up here right where we left off, in the Tomb of Niflheim. Although now we're technically in another episode with its own little title. So there's a grapple ring on the front of that tomb door. But there are two stone slabs that prevent me from pulling it out. Those slabs go down with a pressure plate, but I can't stand on both pressure plates at once, so let's use these. This shows off the fact that you can throw the weights, get them through this door. Then I can do a little rock and roll move here, if I fucking throw it right, and get through myself. But first there's an ancient drink, aka health pack. I still don't really understand the logic of that design choice, but whatever. Out here, there is nothing except well, there's a treasure. There's always treasure. Oh, is it a random corner? Let's put some fucking pots in there. Ridiculous. And I thought that was cool. You know, when the first one I picked up, I was like, oh man, cool, the pots. It's almost like real archaeology, except, you know, they don't smash the pots, but you know, pots are related to archaeology, at least. It's some kind of inspiration they're drawing for real-world, quote-unquote, tomb raiding, tomb exploring. But, you know, turns out it's just a really boring collect-a-thon mechanic. What can you do? Now we get to see a little bit of the bendable grapple line mechanics. It's used a couple times to cool effect. This is less interesting. One time it's real interesting later on, and then that's the only time. Anyways, watch and learn.
Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, was powerful enough to level mountains. But how does all this relate to Avalon?
Put your hands on your head. Turn around. Slowly.
I don't suppose you'd be open to bribery, would you?
Amanda Everett sends her regards.
Bloody hell.
Now I noticed there's a little thing that says journal entry unlocked, and I'm like, oh hey, journal entries. What's that? Not in the menu, it's in the PDA. Then I go to look at it, and it's utterly boring background type shit. And I'm like, well, never looking at that again. Anyways, this is where Tomb Raider just can't handle humans. It's always at its best when Lara is playing lonely game in some ancient, dilapidated architecture with fucking tigers and gorillas and shit, and always at its worst when other humans make an appearance. The irrationalities just start leaping out at you. In this case, why knock out Lara and take the artifact? If you're just gonna blow up a thing hoping to seal her in and die, why don't you just fucking shoot her? I mean, I guess standard stupid action movie logic, but I don't know. It's annoying. I also love, and this is a feature of every Tomb Raider game, but Lara's completely just underwhelmed reaction upon being exposed to actual magic. I mean, I guess at this point in the canon, as it were, she's seen so much of it that she just expects it, but it's still pretty amazing that you could see something like a glowy, floating god glove from, like, fucking BC, early human history, and the only thing you have to say is, like, I gotta get that. Like, no wonder or awe. But, yeah. That's Tomb Raider. Made more sense when Lara was just a rich psycho. Now that she's all humanized and stuff, you expect her to have more normal reactions, but, you know. It's shit like that that only I care about. No one who plays Tomb Raider games gives a shit about that stuff. And maybe they shouldn't. Maybe I'm just an asshole. Oh man, I'm sure glad I looked in that blind corner to find that hidden treasure. I really feel like I'm discovering things. Sorry, I'm sorry to be so negative about that shit. It's just, ugh, I hate it. And yet I compulsively look for them. I do scour every level trying to find treasures. I don't get them all, but, you know, it's just, I don't know what to say about it. Hey look, more pots. And then I notice a door on the right side. Now, shouldn't you just be able to jump on top of the stuff and jump right over to that door on the right? Yes, you should, but you can't. Instead, you have to go all the way around. Why? Well, because that's the way they programmed. It's times like sometimes the inability to interact with certain stuff is just kind of like annoying, because realistically, or I mean, this game isn't exactly realistic, but within the sort of adventure, swashbuckly movie confines that it inhabits, you ought to be able to do that kind of thing. But there's nothing in particular that you know is back there, so it's just sort of like, well, I guess you can't do that, it's dumb, but whatever. But when the inability to interact with certain objects directly impedes your ability to get a place that you want to go in favor of some other forced route that they spent more time programming in. Oh man, just animation problems galore. Look at all that shit. Anyways, that's really frustrating. It's just video games in the year, well, I think this came out in 2008. Video games in the HD era, let's say, but I'm kind of sick of it. And again, I guess I've already harped on about this for long enough, but it's that kind of thing that is going to need to be fixed before we can say that we've really made any gameplay advances in this PS3, Xbox 360 era of gaming. And what do we have here? A little exploratory gumption has earned me my first relic. This is me checking. Was that the relic? Yes, it was. Every treasure is a little D8. Every relic is one of them golden orbs. Oh hey, why would I be able to make that jump? Of course not. Whatever. So I start back at the top of this room at the beginning. Just cut to the chase and be back down here. There is one relic per sort of overall level, per geographical area. Like, so there's one here in the Mediterranean Sea, not per game level. So that means there's, what, like 6 or 7 of them overall? And they're pretty, actually, they're pretty cool to find. That one was kind of simplistic, but it took, like I said, a little exploratory gumption. Some of the later ones are more interesting. I would be completely happy if there were no treasures in this game at all, and there were just the relics. Some of the treasures are in cool places too, but I don't know. This is one place where I think Anniversary did it way more right than every other one. There was like a couple relics in each level, and they were always in like really cool, out of the way places you had to think a little bit to find. That's the way to do it, if you ask me. It makes them feel less collectible and more discoverable, if that makes sense. At any rate, let's keep on backtracking our way out of here. Hey, now watch this shit. Okay, let's get up here. Let's get up here. You know, I don't even know. Like, I've said it already, but they're trying to make the animations as fluid as possible. The downside to that is, if your fluid animations don't match up with the very finely granulated environment, you end up with these wacky animation bugs that actually kill your immersion more than a less detailed environment or less accurate animations or less smooth animations would be. What can I say? Anyways, I kind of like this swim back up to your boat. Actually, I kind of like that the game makes you backtrack here. I know that sounds terrible, but I don't know. It makes you feel like you're in a real physical space. You don't just get to automatically warp places. You have to move. And I just like this big blue ocean, the light streaking through, and you swimming all the way back up to your boat. Which, of course, introduces another rationality. Why wouldn't these assholes sink your fucking boat? Even if they assumed you were dead, just to hide the evidence that they had murdered you. It's not like people don't know where you're at. Whatever, right? Who am I to point out these issues? By the way, I did a 360 look around. Where did those guys go? Was there a big giant cargo ship? No. Oh look, a big giant cargo ship. Yeah, what up? Again, everything with humans, stupid. Everything with tombs, cool. Everything with humans, stupid. Hey, let's drive directly up to the cargo ship filled with men with guns with our extremely loud engine speedboat. Not get shot and killed. Anyways, I'm CubaLibre. Thanks for watching. See you next mission.